Good afternoon, everyone. It's Miss Stephanie again here, and I am jumping on a YouTube live to do a tutorial for a student of mine. We will be doing today the Mozart Minuet K6. So, for those of you who don't know me, this is your first time joining. I'm Stephanie Chevalier, otherwise known as Miss Stephanie from Chevalier Musique. I'm located here in Baltimore, Maryland, and I do lives um, for piano, for ukulele, and for vocal training. So today I'm doing a tutorial on a Mozart minuet for a student of mine. Hi, Layla. I hope you enjoy this. And let me just flip videos if I can. Excellent. Okay. So today we're going to start at the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and play through the right hand for you. Um, and because this is how I would teach my students. So Layla knows most of this already. But I'm going to teach this from the beginning as if you didn't know it already. So we're going to start from the very beginning. What I do is I have my students learn the right hand all the way through at a moderate tempo. This tempo is marked from the editor at the quarter note at 100. So here we go. One, ready, go. And that's part one. Part one repeats. And now on to part two. Part two also repeats. Here we go. Okay. And then we go through and learn the left hand. Now, this happens to be in the key of C. So we don't have to worry about any sharps or flats in the key signature. So the left hand starts down here on the C below middle C. One, ready, go. One. And it repeats. So one. And then we go on to part two. And one. And it repeats. One. Okay, I'm going to flip this camera around real quick. And okay, so what I would have you do is go through and practice that hand separate for a week, maybe 2 weeks. I like for you to have the right hand memorized completely. Makes it much easier when we go to put these pieces hands together. Okay, so I'm going to flip this back around and show you how we would go ahead and work on putting this hands together. Okay, so in my studio, what I typically would do is have us work on the end of the piece first and then work our way backwards. So we're going to start on measure 13, which is the last line. And it'll sound like this, and then we'll talk to you about how we're going to put it together. Whoops. There you go. Okay, so what I would have you do is let's learn the very last measure. Here we go. The right hand has a B and the left hand has a C. You will hear the dissonance there. Okay. There you go. Now we're going to back up one measure and we're going to start on the A. And we'll do that several times until it gets easy. Okay. And then I would go to measure 13 and we will do that 2 measures prior to that. Okay. The right hand is playing an A, the left hand is playing an F. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to go on to the next part in a moment. One more time on that. 1, 2, 3. Stay where you are. And then we're going to go on to the next part. The right hand will be playing an F. An A. The left hand is playing an F. The right hand is playing an A. I'm going to slow it down slightly. We're going to start at measure 13 and do the entire final line. 1, 2, 3. Very good. I would have you go over that several times, and then we're going to back up and do line 3. That was line 4. We're now going to do line 3, and then we'll be done with the entire second half. So line 3, the right hand did this. Remember that section. And the left hand's down here on B. Okay? So measures 9 and 10. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Watch again and listen. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And your hands are already in the correct place for the next part. So we didn't have to go far. So let's start with the F natural in the right hand and the D in the left hand. Excellent. Now we're going to start and do that entire line starting with measure 9. 1, 2, 3. Now let's go ahead and finish with the last line. Excellent. Now we know the whole second half. I'm going to back up a little bit and we're going to do line 2. And if you recall, it sounds something like this. And the left hand started on middle C. Okay, so listen to how that sounds together. I'm going to do the first 2 measures of that phrase. 1, 2, 3. Does that sound familiar? It should. Very similar to the last line. Okay, let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. And you're already here set up for the next part. So let's go on to measures 7 and 8. Listen to that part again. I'll do the pickup with the D sharp. And that dissonance that Mozart's known for. And the resolution. Okay, so now let's start from that second line and go all the way to the end. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're going to go on and do the very first line. Remember, it sounded like this. Okay, and the left hand. We saved the easiest line for last. Okay, here we go. Line 1, Mozart Minuet. 1, 2, 3. And listen to that again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Okay, now let's try it from the beginning with the repeats. Notice that I'm going to this time pay close attention to the dynamic markings. Every editor does things differently, but this is pretty simply laid out here. I think that you'll find that Mozart wrote this when he was like 6 years old. So it's pretty simple in the way that the dynamics go. It starts out very soft, and then the next phrase it gets a little bit louder to mezzo piano, and then to a mezzo forte and back down again. So each phrase is kind of like a little bit of a rainbow. Okay, here we go. Mozart Minuet. 1, 2, 3. And repeat. you were going to do an ornament, this is where you would place your ornament. The second time through, so I'm going to take it from the second line on there, and I'm going to do an ornament. So the on the repeat is where you would do your ornament. Ah, there you go. I put a trill there. Okay, now on to the second half. And we have a repeat. And so this is where we will put this last line. So before I play this last line, this is where we would put our ornament. There it is. Let me switch cameras here. There we are. Okay, so that was the Mozart Minuet K6. And this series that I use this along with my Suzuki books. And this is the Everybody's Perfect Masterpieces. This happens to be from volume 2. They have volumes 1 through 4, and there is a recording that comes with it. Well, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I hope somebody else will enjoy this and get something out of it. Oh, and don't forget, there is a rewind feature here. So you can go to the corner there and rewind, stop, pause, and go back and see how to put hands together on this. Okay, don't forget to subscribe.